once again. Welcome to live televised sport, greyhound racing tonight, and what's proven to be a great weekend, a cracking weekend of televised sport here on Network 2 and RTE 1. So much to look forward to. Tonight, here in Shelbourne Park, it's the final of the Irish Oaks, the Bitch Classic, £12,500 in money going to the winning connections. Talk about that race very short, but first of all, let's get straight down to business. Our first race is the Sporting Press Open 525. Michael Fortune and Des Scahill to lead us into it.
Dogs just going into traps for the Sporting Press Open 525, and last of the ones just going in on the outside. And non-runner here is number 2, What's the Buzz, and that's being replaced by Reserve K, who is Silver Snowflake. And the bell sounds. The favourite is number 3, Black Hazel, at 5-2. Lug Hill Flower from 4 is 3-1, as also is number 6, Balladella Range. And then it's 6-1 Kafka, 7-1 each of 2. Number 1, 2 red ones, and the reserve, Silver Snowflake, running from 2. Here just on its way up towards the traps now, and away they go in a pretty level break, and on the inside it's the reserve, Silver Snowflake. Bit of barging there, and it'll be nice, turned right around and taking full advantage. 2 red ones is raced right up on the inside, but is now being taken on again by Black Hazel, the favourite, who's just coming with a good challenge that'll take it into the lead at the third bend. Black Hazel leads from 2 red ones. Running round them on the outside, making good ground, is Kafka, but racing now towards the turn in. Out in front is Black Hazel, being chased by Lug Hill Flower, who's going to take it into second. 2 red ones is third, but Black Hazel, who got up the inside down the back after a very messy first bend, has run out the winner of the Sporting Press Open 525.
Yes, an interesting contest there. A very level run to the first bend. Here we see number 6 away well, Balladella Range on the inside, 2 red ones, and in the middle Black Hazel. And Black Hazel ran a very game race there. As we see number 4, Look Hill Flyer, going up the inside, but she ran into trouble there, lost a lot of ground, and now suddenly it's 2 red ones there in front. Silver Snowflake balked at that opening corner, which was actually sharing the lead to the bend, and now we see Black Hazel again coming back to head the field at halfway. Down into the third bend, Black Hazel in front. And then in behind we see number 4, Look Hill Flower, now coming with a renewed run. She's certainly one for the notebook. But in front, Black Hazel, this daughter of Affadown Timmy and Laura Dye, owned by Ailish Spellman from Salton in Galway, has taken over. This one ran very well here in the early rounds of the Sporting Press Oaks, and she's coming up to win with Look Hill Flower putting in a big run in second, 2 red ones in third, but across the line, number 3, Black Hazel, the winner there from Look Hill Flower in second, 2 red ones in third. And there's the official result. Joint favourites, Black Hazel winning from Look Hill Flower, both of them at 3-1. The time 29:77.
That our first live race, of course, here at Shelbourne Park, the 6th race on the card in all. Well, we're here, of course, because it is the Sporting Press Irish Oaks final tonight, and a prize of £12,500 to the winning connection. One of the great classics in Irish racing, of course, and much of the talk around here is about the dog in trap 1, or the greyhound in trap 1. Floral Spark, Jerry Burke's dog from County Clare, had a flyer here last weekend and has been very successful in 16 races so far. There are 2 Dalcash dogs in it as well, Dalcash Eliza in trap 4 and Dalcash Visa in trap 5, and Dalcash Visa is on the card here at Shelbourne Park on Oaks finals night for the 3rd year in succession. Was in the final last year, placed 5th I think, and in the Consolation final in 1993. Not to mention, of course, a certain other dog, Cool Survivor, partly owned by Michael Fortune, one of our commentators here this evening. If that particular bitch comes and wins the £12,500, well, you can bet your life Michael will be down here quick as a flash, and God knows who'll do the remaining commentaries on our races. That race is timed off second next race. Let's take a look back at the semi-finals here 7 nights ago, and as I say, the big money tonight perhaps on Floral Spark, drawn in trap 1 last week in the semi-final, in the first of the semis, drawn in trap 2.
The opening semi-final of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. In trap 1 Have a Cigar, in 2 Floral Spark, in 3 is Pacific Wind, in 4 Dalcash Eliza, in 5 is Salah 60, and on the outside in 6 Ward Nurse. 5 Salah 60, no, she falls out of traps, normally a very fast breaker. It's number 6 Ward Nurse on the outside going up, number 3 Pacific Wind on the inside, and now Floral Spark, the favourite, bursting through on the inside and going in front from number 6 Ward Nurse in second, in third is Pacific Wind, and in 4th Dalcash Eliza. Halfway, and it's number 2 Floral Spark going on by 3 lengths from Pacific Wind in second, Ward Nurse in third place, but it's Floral Spark out clear, 3 lengths clear coming off the last corner. Pacific Wind beginning to close, but Floral Spark a clear leader turning for home. Floral Spark, but here comes number 3 Pacific Wind, but Floral Spark holding on, and Floral Spark winning there from Pacific Wind. So number 2 Floral Spark getting in front around the opening corner. In the opening semi-final and winning from Pacific Wind with Dalcash Elisa in third, the time 29.43. The second semi-final. In trap 1, Dalcash Visa. In 2 is Lady Fresher. In 3 we have live commentary. Then in 4, My Lady Again. In 5 is Cool Survivor. And in trap 6, Fleeting Fantasy. A very fast breaker, number 6, Fleeting Fantasy. They're coming behind traps, away they go. Cool Survivor fast away from 5 with number 4, My Lady Again. On the outside, Fleeting Fantasy, the 3 of them into the corner. And Cool Survivor badly balked there, and a lot of trouble. And Fleeting Fantasy also in trouble. And now it's My Lady Again in front from Dalcash Visa. Lady Fresher in third, and Cool Survivor beginning to make ground again. But into the third bend, number 1, Dalcash Visa getting a lovely run up the inside. Cool Survivor going after her in second, losing a bit of ground there. But around the last corner, Dalcash Visa from Cool Survivor. These two look clear and home. And coming up the home straight, number 1, Dalcash Visa the winner. Cool Survivor in second, close for third between live commentary and Lady Fresher. But Dalcash Visa escaping the trouble at the opening corner, getting a great run and going on to win from Cool Survivor in second with live commentary third, the winning time 29.46.
And so there we see the final lineup for the 1995 Sporting Press Irish Oaks. On the betting, number 1, Floral Spark, the even money favourite. In trap 2 is Pacific Wind at 5-1. In trap 3, live commentary at 20-1. In trap 4 is Dalcash Eliza at 40-1. In trap 5, Dalcash Visa at 6-1. And in trap 6 is Cool Survivor at 4-1. So that's the lineup. A fine race in prospect, and Floral Spark, as Ger has already said, there has won 12 over 16 races. A highly consistent performer indeed.
So speaks the owner there of one of the favourites tonight, the second favourite of course, Cool Survivor, Michael Fortune's dog, and as I say, £12,500 to the winning connections, big money indeed. I'm sure the £500 will be used just on the drinks here alone at Shelbourne Park tonight if Michael emerges victorious. And there's a drop of about 50 feet, I suppose, from commentary box to here. And mind you have to get over some scaffolding as well because they are rebuilding Shelbourne Park, or part of, so a big race in prospect. We're looking forward to the Consolation Stakes as well. That's just before the big one. But before all of that, let's take a look back to one of the earlier races on the card. That was the second race. It was a sprint over 360 yards. This is what happened.
The Sporting Press Open 360. In 1, Knocking the Ball Slip at 12-1. In 2 is Floshy's Cruiser at 8s. In 3, Lovely Sheen at 5s. In 4, the 2-1 favourite Pass Machine. Then Gin and It at 8-1, and on the outside, Boys in Blue at 5-2. The hare behind the trap, and away they go. A very level break, but Pass Machine, what early pace this dog has. He's out flying. This dog trained by Tony Fahey, going clear to the corner. Number 2 putting in a big run as Floshy's Cruiser. Number 3, there's a pile up behind. Dog's turned over the place, but it's Boys in Blue in second as Pass Machine comes clear around the first bend, around the second bend into the home straight. Pass Machine, Boys in Blue running on strongly, but Pass Machine the winner from Boys Machine in second, with number 1 Not Naboha Slip in third, and Floshy's Cruiser, having been turned over, is at the back of the field. Well, Pass Machine from 4, he really has amazing early acceleration. This puppy, October 93 sapling, gets away, goes a length up. Lovely Sheen putting in a run to the corner, or Floshy's Cruise on the inside, trying to get through on the inside, and now watch a big pile up and a sensational tumble there. A very bad fall for Floshy's Cruiser, but Pass Machine clear around the bend, owned by Sheila Cunningham and Paddy Kelly, trained by Tony Fahey, goes 3 lengths clear from Boys in Blue in second, and these are clear of the rest, headed by Knocknaboha Slip. But Pass Machine, the winner of the Lixnaw Supporters Takedown in Tralee, a brilliant early pace dog. He's going to be a big force over 5-5 as he maintains there. You see him winning and maintaining his unbeaten record in Dublin from Boys in Blue in second. So Pass Machine, the 2-1 winner. Boys in Blue at 5-2. The time 19:57.
Big win there for Pass Machine. My 10-year-old daughter, attending her 3rd greyhound meet ever, won 23p on that particular race. Let's take a look forward now to the Consolation Stakes, the one before the big one, and we have some advanced betting on that.
There is the betting on the Consolation Irish Oaks. 1, Our Edition at 6-1. Number 2, Lady Fresher is 12s. Number 3, Kilbrine Dasher at 7-1. 4, Salah 60, 4-1. 5 is Callback Kirby, 12-1. But a very warm favourite is number 6, Fleeting Fantasy, who you saw run in one of the earlier races behind Dalcash Visa, and was involved in quite some scrimmaging at the first turn, but is a very warm favourite for the Consolation Oaks.
Yes, that's the lineup. The bitches who didn't quite make it, all very smart performers. And Fleeting Fantasy, as Desi said there in 6, she's a phenomenally fast starter normally. Great early pace. Had shown signs of going back a little bit before the semi-final, didn't break as fast as usual, and then was involved in that scrimmage with our own cool survivor and My Lady again at the first bend, and she came off worst of all in that particular race. There she's, see her going off to the right there with Ger leading her. And there we see there, just in front of us, we see Fleeting Fantasy there with Ger Holian, this daughter of Phantom Flash and No Can Do, owned by Pamela Holian from Athenry in County Galway, trained by Ger. And, well, she goes behind the bushes just in time for us. That was good timing. But as I said, Fleeting Fantasy, brilliant early pace. Really, she's one of the fastest consistent breakers I have seen in years and years. Didn't quite get away in the semi-final, but she's well capable of coming out of those traps 3 lengths in front. She had won in 29.56, 29.44 and 29.38 in the earlier rounds of the Oaks. Very keen looking tonight, and all the way she's looking fresh and well and raring to go. That's number 6, Fleeting Fantasy. Another very fast breaker, Salah 60. Very unfortunate in the semi-final. She actually fell out of trap Salah 60, owned by Vince Burt from Ballymean in County Antrim. There we see number 3, Kilbrian Dasher, owned by Michael Reck from Newcastle in Dublin, trained by Bill Lawler. Kilbrian Dasher, a daughter of Farlow Melody and Balladala Gran, a member of the Smashing Litter. I've always predicted big things for this one when she goes over a longer trip, but she's over the 5-2-5 at the moment. She's still capable of a good run. That's number 3, Kilbrian Dasher. There we see Callback Kirby, owned by Robert Lewis from Rathgar here in Dublin. Callback Kirby, a daughter of Green Park Fox and Ashcar Magic, a wide runner, a fast starter, a very good bitch. We didn't mention Old Edition, owned by Fred Sibley. There we see the betting. Old Edition at 6-1, owned by Fred Sibley from Clacton-on-Sea in England, trained by Reggie Roberts, a daughter of Mid-Clare champion Son Story. We didn't see number 2, Lady Fresher. Doesn't deserve to be 12-1, owned by Desi Gilbert from Skerries. Just beaten in a photo finish to get through to the final of the Oaks. This one, a daughter of Lodge Prince and Forward Fairy. And I think we've covered them all, Desi. Fleeting Fantasy, the 5-4 favourite, but that's a big price about Salah 60 at 4. She can fly out at times.
Well, the hare makes his way down the far side. Recapping the runners: 1 is Old Edition, 2 Lady Fresher, 3 Kilbrian Dasher, 4 Salah 60, 5 Callback Kirby, and the very warm favourite on the outside, Fleeting Fantasy. Let's see if this one can break and show the good speed to the bend. Away they go, and Fleeting Fantasy does come out well, but so do quite a few on the inside. Callback Kirby, and on the inside Salah 60, and Salah 60 gets away from the turn, and the favourite Old Edition on the outside is 4th, but racing down the far side it's Salah 60 who's showing a couple of lengths in front. Callback Kirby is 2nd, and it's a 2-dog race. They're well clear as they race now towards the final bend, and on the inside Salah 60 putting down a determined bid. On the outside Callback Kirby, and these two having a great battle. Fleeting Fantasy coming home well, but as they go up towards the line, Callback Kirby on the near side, Salah 60, and the favourite Fleeting Fantasy came from a long way back to possibly snatch 3rd, but Callback Kirby has grabbed the long-time leader, Salah 60.
Well, a fine run there, and really looked all over when Salah 60 led around the corner. Now watch this early run to the bend. Fleeting Fantasy out fast, Callback Kirby, and then on the inside Salah 60. Salah 60 brushes Callback Kirby, moves her out, and suddenly poaches a lead of a few lengths. Fleeting Fantasy in all sorts of trouble in 3rd place, and all the others out of it at this stage, but they ran on well afterwards. Just watch it. Now out in front, Salah 60. Now Callback Kirby throwing down this challenge, owned by Robert Lewis from Rathgar, throwing down a challenge to come into the 3rd bend. There's a length in it now, and you can clearly see that Callback Kirby is going stronger at this stage. This daughter of Green Park Fox and Ashcar Magic, and Salah 60 disappointingly the way she drops away now as the dogs behind also making ground, but up the straight, no doubt about what's going the stronger. It's number 5, Callback Kirby, coming up to win the Sporting Press Consolation Irish Oaks there from Salah 60 in 2nd, Fleeting Fantasy in 3rd, and Lady Fresher in 4th.
Well, a real result there, 16-1 Callback Kirby, 2nd Salah 60, 3-1, and the time for the Consolation was 29.70.
Some price, wasn't it? 16-1 the winner there. Some bit of money being made here at Shelbourne Park tonight, I know. We're going to look ahead now to the final of the Oaks itself, the Bitch Classic, and it's really a very, very open race. There are 2 of the Dalcash litter in this tonight, Dalcash Eliza and Dalcash Visa, and with me I've got the owners, or are we talking owners, Father John Mead and Michael Mead. What part of the dogs do you own?
Well, a very small part. I think the biggest part is owned by Mike. I just have a small interest in the dogs, yeah.
It's a tremendous performance by Dalcash Visa to be on the card here for the Oaks finals, the third year in succession.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And you know, she has 8 pups that are now 9 months old. And since she was here last year, she's raised a litter of pups. So we are over the moon for having her here, just because she is here. Win, lose or draw, we're happy that she's here just to be in the final, because that's a kind of a record in itself.
I know Michael Fortune regards just being in this classic final as a tremendous achievement, a wonderful personal achievement. But to have 2 dogs in the final, well, that says something.
It does, because we came up here first really with Visa. We just took the other one along with us, and she kept on qualifying and qualifying and qualifying, and here she is tonight. She's in the final.
Visa's the veteran of the field tonight.
She is the veteran. She is the oldest bitch in the field, and Eliza is the youngest. So we have the oldest and the youngest.
Now, we know you're from County Clare, so the Dalgash and the Brian Baru and so on. Can you explain the origin of Dalcash?
Well, our dogs were called Dalgash originally, but we go back to the old Dalcashan tribe of Brian Baru down in County Clare, and Queen Elizabeth and John F. Kennedy have come from that clan. So we anglicised the spelling of it, and we spelled it Dalcash just to simplify the thing. But it comes from the Dalcashans, the clan.
I'm sure Her Majesty will send you a telegram of congratulations if you get there. Let's talk to your brother Mike. Mike, tell us about the current form, in particular about Visa.
Visa is in good form, you know. She got a bad trap tonight, but, you know, we're hoping that she'll run well, you know.
It's quite a night for County Clare. 3 of the dogs originate from County Clare.
Yeah, it's a great night for County Clare, and we hope one of them will, you know, win anyway, you know.
Well, of course, you were in this final last year, which was won by Shimmering Wings. Let's take a look back now at this stage, and you can recall, I'm sure, what was a wonderful occasion, but disappointment as well, because you didn't quite make it.
Yeah, well, you know.
Let's take a look back at that race, Mike.
Yeah.
Now, this was the field last year rather, and Shimmering Wings was in there in trap 4. Did you feel that was a bad draw for Shimmering Wings?
Well, you know, I don't know. There's no bad draw.
She got that start, and as you can see there now, like Visa is in all kinds of trouble. She's last at that point. She's second last there. She's last, and in the final of a classic, you don't come from there. You know, those dogs ahead of you don't come back to you in the final. So when that kind of thing happens at the first bend, you're basically out of it in the final of a classic. So she went out in the first bend there.
She went out in front and stayed out there.
Shimmering Wings did. She ran a great race. She got away there, like, you know. She was a great bitch. She was good right through the Oaks, and we knew that she'd be the one to have to deal with. We knew that early on.
Now, there's quality aplenty in the field tonight. We were saying it's a very open race, this bitch classic. What about the dogs in traps 1 and 6?
Well, the one in trap 1 has a great record. She's the other Milton Malva bitch. Like, she has all wins. She's no second. So she's the one with the record, and she's a good bitch, and I think she'll be there.
This is Floral Sparkle, and this bitch now really has excited the crowds coming here to this particular series.
She's run a great series here, and everybody is thrilled about her and kind of psyched about her, you know. I think she'll run a good race, yeah. I think she's the one to beat now.
Mind you, I'm sure Michael Fortune feels, Mike, that his bitch has the beating.
Yeah, well, they're all in there with a chance, you know. I mean, you can't, it's very hard to pick one out of it, you know. Depends on the first bend, you know. I mean, the best of them can get bumped at the first bend and they're gone out of it. An awful lot of great pitches went out of it early in the time, you know. So anything can happen, you know. We just hope for the best, you know.
How did you all get into greyhound racing? I know you were in Africa, Father, for some time.
It was Gerard Burke's uncle that started us in greyhounds. To be honest about it, Johnny Burke, he was a neighbour of ours, you know. He started us in greyhounds. You know, and he was very good to us when we were kids growing up, you know.
And how many prominent bitches or dogs are there in the Dalgash litter at this stage?
We don't keep that many. We really keep the females. We don't keep the males because we've only a small outfit, you know. We're not a big outfit. So we race the females. Normally we don't race the males. We let them off somewhere else. And we had a comrade of Eliza in the English Oaks, but in the English Derby, but he went out in the first round. He's gone.
And when you were ministering in Africa, did you miss the old dogs?
I missed the dogs when I was in Africa, and I had one at the time in the States, running, and I lived off that one. He won quite a bit from me for a few years over there. He was running out in Boston in Wonderland with Don Cuddy. So he did well for me, that dog. They're probably waiting for you, I think.
Well, as one of the joint owners, perhaps you should be on your way. Thanks indeed for talking to us, and good luck in the race. All right, you're on your way as well. Congratulations on getting to the finals. Certainly we're looking forward to what should be a very open race indeed, this final of the Oaks, and good luck to Michael Fortune. Michael.
Well, thank you, Ger, but they're all in there with a big chance. It's just an honour to be in there, and every owner will feel exactly the same. We all have a chance in there, and we'll celebrate, win, lose or draw. As I say, it's an honour to be in the final. We've just seen the Consolation there being run. They were the bitches that didn't quite make, and there we see them going off. Robert Lewis with his father Tony, great supporters of greyhound racing here in Dublin, and well entitled to have their smile there as the pose for the photographs. We've just missed the presentation, which was made by Jack O'Rourke, the chairman of the Sporting Press. There we see Sean Barrett, well known in the racing world, Sean, of the government at the moment. And we see on the left Jack O'Rourke. Jack, the chairman of the Sporting Press from Abbeyfield. As we were joking him earlier on, he's two teams to support, Limerick in the hurling and Kerry in the football. But we won't go into that particular one as Jack walks off there with Sean Barrett, and the Lewises pose for another photograph with Imelda Grauer. That's the Sporting Press Consolation Irish Oaks, won by Callback Kirby, and won in fine fashion by Callback Kirby, a winner for Dublin. And now we move on to the big one, the final of the 1995 Sporting Press Irish Oaks.
Well, there's a look at the market. Floral Spark is on everybody's lists as a possible winner of this race, but is a very warm favourite to do so, running from trap number 1. Evens is Floral Spark. Second best is Michael's co-owned Cool Survivor at 4-1. Then it's 6-1, number 5 Dow Cash Visa, and 11-2. I just missed that one by half a point. Pacific Wind is third best. Dow Cash Visa fourth in the market at 6-1. And two rank outsiders is 3 Live Coventry at 20-1, and after live commentary it's Dow Cash Eliza, the outsider, at 25-1. So Floral Spark, a very warm favourite for this race.
So that's the lineup, and as we talk, I know there's a little bit of a drift going on. Floral Spark going to 11-10 and 5-4 in places, but this is an open contest, and there's some great bitches in it right at the start of the competition, and well, they weeded their way down to 6 at the finish. And breeders, well, all breeders like to win in Oaks, or even get a runner to the final of the Oaks. It's what breeding of greyhounds is all about, and well, the Studbook Trophy was what was presented for the Consolation Oaks, and the main one goes for this race coming up. We might see 20s and 25-1. That doesn't say they have no chance. I've seen winners here at bigger prices. We see Teddy Hegarty's board there now, and Floral Spark going odds on actually now on Teddy Hegarty's board, going 45, but Teddy changing again. Teddy can just change and change again, just at a whit, but a bet being whispered into his ear there, and we see Floral Spark, he's deciding, he's saying to Joe Gilbert and Michael, his penciler there, what price will I go? So deciding what to go as he pencils up again. But Floral Spark, there's no doubt about it, will be the favourite, as it's going back to even money favourite. Good crowd here tonight in Shelbourne Park. If we had a wider view, you'd see the work going on behind. A lot of work going on. We're restricted to about 10 or 12 steps here at the moment in Shelbourne Park as the major development work goes on up behind. Just behind all those people there, you'll see all the structure of the new development taking shape just at the moment. Good crowd. There you get an idea of the framework there of that'll all be a terraced restaurant and seating area, sweeping down along seating, and then behind that bar and standing room and other seating, and then up on top under one of those lights at the top is where Desi and myself are doing our bit of work tonight up among the building development work. But it's a great view up here. But all of this work due to end by mid-August before the Respond Irish Derby gets underway. And there we see the dogs just beginning to emerge from the weigh room area, making their way out for the start of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. As we see the 6 runners there, headed by number 1 Floral Spark, and at the rear we see Cool Survivor. Out onto the track, led by Floral Spark, one of the 3 runners from Milltown Malbay. It's an amazing story, really. We had 96 greyhounds in at the start. I think we had 3 entries in Milltown Malbay, and all 3 of them have made it to the final. It's a mad greyhound area. And I went down there the first weekend in October, and for the Liscannor coursing meeting, and they love their greyhounds down there. What a weekend it was, and well, there's no better area for the Sporting Press Oaks Trophy to go back to. I believe there are 6 busloads of them here, and what a celebration they'll have if they win it. And it's led by Ger Burke with Floral Spark, and then we see the 2 Mead runners at the back. But other parts of the country all represented too. And there we see a certain Cool Survivor having a look around. She's done us proud, and she's given us really great fun. I can't emphasize how much the fun involved in owning a greyhound, and whether you own it as singly or in a partnership or in a syndicate, it's great fun, small expense involved, but there's great satisfaction from it. Runners on parade now as we wait to see our first one, which will be Floral Spark. As Ger said, £12,500 to the winner. Dogs now moving inside. There we see her, Floral Spark, the deserving favourite. What a record, as I said, winning 12 of her 16 races, Floral Spark. This daughter of Deanside Spark and Back the Glen, owned, bred and trained by Floral Spark, yes, owned, bred and trained by Ger Burke from Milltown Malbay in County Clare. Unbeaten in this classic, and it takes a lot of running to get to the final of a classic here unbeaten. Ideally drawn in trap 1. She takes the paint off the rails. Thoroughly deserves her position at the start. That's number 1 Floral Spark. Next we'll see number 2 Pacific Wind. Floral Spark is the best time in the stake of 29.29. It's the best time returned. She's also done 29.30. She's done 29.34 and 29.43. You can't see anything more consistent than that. There we see number 2 Pacific Wind. This daughter of Mid-Clare champ and Dancing Way, moving there on your left. Pacific Wind, owned by Pat Hamill from Dungannon in County Tyrone, bred and trained by Pat, who I believe is a very good fiddler, a musician of great note, I'm told. Pacific Wind ran extremely well here in the Oaks last year, but has really come into her own this year, suffering from a pad injury over the last 2 weeks, but she ran mighty well in that semi-final. She was catching Floral Spark with every stride coming home. She's in there with a real chance. I think at 6-1 she's unbelievable value. Number 2 Pacific Wind. Number 3 there we see Live Commentary, owned by Live Contender, Live Contender out of Minis Nikita, owned by Ger Canning from Borrisolea in County Tipperary. Jerry and brother George, well, have had a lot of good dogs over the years, and this one is really a good servant, trained by Martin Gleeson. And well, there's no need to introduce the Gleesons from Tipperary in training greyhounds. There's not too many that are better at training them. Live Commentary, the lightest raced greyhound in the race. Live Commentary, and just had 8 races all she's run. She's won 4 of them, and she's here with the final. There we see number 4 now. Number 4 is Dalcash Elisa. We've spoken about her already. The daughter of Whisper Wishes and Fair Princess, owned by Anne Burke from Ballyclarahan in County Tipperary. And Anne and Sean Burke have put a lot of great greyhounds to her hands over the years. They bred this one. She's owned by Michael Mead. We've heard Michael talking about her. The outsider in the final. She's also the youngest finalist. And the youngest finalist can improve and can improve and can improve. She stays well this one. She's a bad draw, but, well, she's there and she deserves her place in the final. So now on to number 5, which is Dalcash Visa. Dalcash Visa here on this night for the 3rd successive year, Dalcash Visa. She's down there there she is, Dalcash Visa, the veteran of the field by Whisper Wit out of Burn Park Vixen. Burn Park Vixen was out of Burn Park Sally, a past winner of the Oaks here, and also Clare owned Burn Park Sally, owned by Mick Brown down in Kilmihill. And well, this one really bred in the Oaks tradition, and well, she's certainly enlivened the Oaks over the last few years with a series of great performances. You saw her earlier on winning her semi-final. She's been a mighty consistent performer for the Meads from County Clare. And there's my pride and joy. That's Cool Survivor, the daughter of Lodge Prince and Gunboat Anne, bred by John Fitzgerald in Dunbalog in County Cork. We bought it from Eamon O'Riordan, from Douglas in Cork. Yaman, as Eamon is known, he's here tonight. I haven't seen him yet, but I'm sure he's here tonight. He goes a lot of times to see this pitch running. And a Cool Survivor, jointly owned by myself and Fonzie King. And Fonzie sends his regards actually to his mother, who can't be here tonight, Bridie King from Ballingarry and Rosscray. So Bridie, I'm sure you're shouting for us too. But Bridie's husband Dick is here and is representing them all down that area. But trained by Seamus Graham from County Carlow, Ballymoiler, and Cool Survivor can break fast. She's only coming back from season, couldn't be described yet as 100% fit, but she's ready and raring to run. She's well drawn, she can break well, is inclined to paw traps at times. That's our one worry about the bitch. She can paw traps and miss her break at times, but if she gets out of those traps, she'll take a bit of beating. So there are the finalists for the 1995 Sporting Press Irish Oaks. A very open contest. Floral Spark, the clear favourite. Money coming from Cool Survivor, I believe, Desi?
Well, not surprising with such a team supporting it. Cool Survivors come in half a point to 7-2, with Floral Spark just odds on. Number 2, Pacific Wind, is on 11-2. Then 2 rank outsiders, live commentary, 25-1 with Dalcash Eliza, and number 5 is Dalcash Visa, who is on 7-1. With Cool Survivor, second favourite, at 7-2 on the outside. So the dogs now have been boxed, and handlers running away anxiously to pick up a good position of the first bend. And, well, it's anxious moments now. The bell sounds, and the hare moves down the far side. 1 Floral Spark evens, 2 Pacific Wind 5-1, 3 live commentary 20s, 4 Dalcash Eliza 25s, 5 Dalcash Visa 7s, and Cool Survivor, the outside, 7-2. Hare coming to the traps for the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. Away they go, and Cool Survivor bombs away on the outside to lead from Pacific Wind, who's gone into second. Then Floral Spark with a bit of ground to make up on the inside third. But it's Cool Survivor now who's leading him down the back in second. Pacific Wind moving into third is live commentary, the rank outsider. The second last bend, and it's Cool Survivor being pressed on the inside by live commentary, who's coming with a good run, and as they run the home turn, Cool Survivor live commentary on the outside, putting in around Pacific Wind, but it's Cool Survivor going to win it for Michael Fortune and Fonzie King. And one man is going to make a quick exit out of here. It's Cool Survivor's owner, who's punching the air here. I don't know whether he'll wait for the replay or not, but she's won it. Cool Survivor, jointly owned by Michael Fortune and Fonzie King, and trained by Seamus Graham, has won the 1995 Sporting Press Irish Oaks after a great break.
Full finish for second place.
Yes, well, the breath is coming back here. At this stage, it looked all over, I must say, but I had doubts on the third bend. She came away like a flyer, cut across for the inside. And, well, really, everything is going to have to go to catch this one when she's in front. She's a ferocious stayer. We think she'd stay 700 yards, but she's won the Oaks. And there's Cool Survivor in front by a length and a half from Pacific Wind in second. What a race. Live commentary ran in third. Good fair play to this bitch. Put in a great performance into the third bend. A great burst of pace to come up to challenge Survivor at this stage. In fourth place, Dalcash Visa putting in a run. That gallant bitch deserved to do better, deserved to get involved in an Oaks final, because she's been such a servant. But off the last corner, the Survivor kicks, and that's it. She's going on to win. It's a great personal moment, an emotional moment. She's going on to win the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. She's done us proud.
Well, there is the winner, Cool Survivor, certainly on the evidence of the semi-finals, and has gone on to win in tremendous style. And, well, Michael, a real greyhound racing man, certainly deserves to get, well, the reward that he's a real greyhound racing man. Not particularly like myself, but he's got tremendous enjoyment out of greyhound racing. But to share in the ownership of the winner of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks is certainly a marvellous moment for him. And not surprisingly, he's made his exit despite all the rebuilding. I think he'll be very lucky to find his way down, but I'm sure he'll be thronged on the way down by well-wishers, as he's of course so well known. Not forgetting his part owner, Fonzie King, and I'm sure he'll be making his way out onto the track very, very shortly, as indeed the owner, Seamus Graham. And leading the winning dog is TJ Myron, who also will share in these celebrations right down here in front of us. But marvellous moments indeed for Michael. He fancied her very, very strongly. He was afraid to push it too far, but was very justified on the evidence of her semi-final run, where in actual fact she met with so much trouble in the semi-final. Did very, very well indeed to fill the second place behind Dalcash Visa. That was a very rough race, but has made absolutely no mistake here, bouncing away from the outside. He was a bit concerned that she might be doing too much pawing and too excited at the break, but he punched the air when she came out so fast on the outside, and once she led, well, it was going to take a very good one to beat. A Floral Spark, the favourite, never really looked to be in any sort of a chance. Looked as if it might go second off the bend, and well, the Connection's getting a well-deserved round of applause right down here in front of us. And there's Michael's son just running across Ian, and well, they're all going to be down there very, very shortly for the presentation of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. A marvellous win for him. Cool Survivor, who was a good second favourite. And there's Ger.
Thank you. We'll have the SP in a second, Des, and the reprise. Michael, congratulations. Fantastic performance.
Ger's magnificent, absolutely marvellous. Fonzie come in here. It's a marvellous performance. I can't describe it. To get a dog to the Oaks final is something else. To win it, this is my part owner, Fonzie King. We're a great partnership, and this one has done us proud.
Congratulations, Fonzie.
Thanks very much.
You led from the very beginning.
She ran a great race. She broke well. We always knew she was a good bitch. Seamus Graham, he's done a terrific job. I can't thank him enough. He deserves everything he gets. I'd like to thank everybody. It's unbelievable. It's a great night. And I'm delighted to have Michael as a partner, his family, everyone, great friends, and thanks to everybody. Unbelievable.
We're going to take a quick look at it again, then the presentation. We'll take a break before all of that, but let's go and have a look at it once again, because you'll want to see this.
Oh yeah, I savour every moment. We'll be watching this for a long time to come, Ger. We thought she could get that break. We didn't want to be too confident, but flew out, cut off a little bit. They were catching her down the back, but she's still only probably 90% really fully tuned. She's coming back from the season. Watch the number 3 bitch. I thought she ran a smashing race in third place live commentary.
What about the favourite? Way back there in fifth.
Favourite and Mr. Break. She did show signs last week she might be going back. She was fading coming home, and there were signs there of it. Our one was coming forward, but she was still very deserving favourite. She'd won 5 in a row here in Shelburne, but once we came off the last bend without getting touched, this one of ours kicks on. She doesn't know when to stop.
How did you survive on the commentary box at this stage?
At this stage I was actually jumping. I was hitting the ceiling upstairs. At this stage I was jumping mighty high and shouting. If you hear at the back of Desi's commentary, there's a large scream about 50 yards from the line.
We'll let you go because we don't want to keep everybody waiting. Congratulations again. Out you go for the presentation. Right, the SP, as you can see there, and Cool Survivor, Michael Fortune and Fonzie King's Bitch, 7-2, and Pacific Wind, 5-1 time, 29:35. It was a marvellous race. The 8th race, the Sporting Press Irish Oaks, and Michael Fortune certainly was very, very emotional there, as you'll gather. Well, we normally have about 30 on the RTE staff here at Shelburne Park, but with Michael Fortune winning and the promise of drinks all around, that number has now swelled to twice that figure, at least 60 on the staff. They're out there, they're on their way down to the presentation, and I'm sure, Desi, you'd like to describe it.
Well, this is a great moment for Michael indeed. I'm sure the video has been pressed at home, and well, quite a few members down there. There he is himself, making his way down. I told him earlier that if he was shown on camera, he wouldn't be out of place if he was in the Irish scrummage team this afternoon and lend a bit of weight to them. But very exciting moments for him there, and being congratulated, of course, earlier on there by his part owner, Fonzie King, who's receiving further congratulations there as he's making his way down. And Michael's daughter just been there, Sean Barrett, congratulating, and also several members of Bortnagon. Luke Kilcoyne is there, and trainer Seamus Graham, and Michael's son Ian just moving in, also the daughters there. Jack O'Rourke, of course, there in the back with the glasses. Of course, Jack is the chairman of the Sporting Press. It's Fonzie being congratulated, and Ned Riley, Bortnagon, and there's the Minister for Agriculture and Sport, Mr. Ivan Yates, and Ivan just standing there to make the presentation. And that's Jack O'Rourke of the Sporting Press. So joyous scenes down there. Just the Jerry Desmond walking past, and the formalities now of a big large photograph, I think, for both the owner's home, but Cool Survivor and the Connections in very happy mood down there at the presentation stand. Rita is waiting up there to be joined by Cool Survivor. So great moments for the Fortunes and the Kings, and of course the owner, Seamus Graham. Great performance, trap to line victory, and once she hit the front, well, I don't think the man here beside me believed anything was going to catch her, and she put up a great performance after looking a little bit in doubt at the third bend, but stayed on tremendously in the time 29:35. So plenty of organisation for this photograph, needless to say, with two owners, two families involved, and quite a good sprinkling of Boardnagon members. And there is the minister, Mr. Ivan Yates.
Yes, joyous scenes indeed, dare I say it, pretty well emotional scenes at this stage, and it's getting to all of us, so I think we need to take a break. Back in a minute. Welcome back to Shelbourne Park on a night when Cool Survivor has just won the Irish Oaks and taken £12,500 for its joint owners. Well, we're going to have some more racing very short. We're going to look back now straight away at one of the earlier races. It's the fourth race on the card, the Sporting Press 575 yards race. And when he was a merely impoverished commentator, Michael Fortune set it up for us.
In traps for the Sporting Press, 751, Raised the Line, 3-1. Number 2, Marion's Machine is an absentee. 3, South Hill Alley, 3-1. 4, Come Home Soon, 14-1. 5, the warm favourite, Samtec Lady, 5-4. And Annie My Love, the rank outsider of the 5, 20-1. Here making its way up to the traps, right over on the far side. And the favourite bounces away very smartly and Raised the Line, lost significant ground. So now racing to the bend and coming to run out past the stands with a circuit ahead of them. Favourites, backers will be happy with what they see. Samtec Lady out in front now, followed in second by Southport Alley. Then Come Home Soon, making up good ground after being very slowly away. Raised the Line, and down the far side the outsider is at the back of the field. Samtec Lady now still out 6 lengths in front, being chased by South Hill Alley as they make the run cross towards the final bend, and Samtec Lady, the warm favourite, looks like justifying her position in the market, having broken smartly, is way out clear. Is a great battle for second. Raised the Line, who started so slowly, is a creditable second, with in third place Come Home Soon, but an effortless victory for the favourite Samtec Lady.
Well, this one was really decided in the first few yards, as we see Samtec Lady taking an absolute flyer from traps, and meanwhile probably our biggest danger, Raised the Line, being left hopelessly from trap 1. So you have a difference there of what, 10 or 12 lengths already, but Samtec Lady out in front. She made her debut over 750 yards over the 6 bend strip here last week and led all the way, and she's done it again. She's an exciting stayer, really, this one. Samtec Lady, owned by Anne and Sean Muldoon from Ardbow in County Tyrone, trained by Seamus Graham, and well clear around the third bend as we have it there now from South Hill Alley in second. South Hill Alley had run very well in the Cesarewitch at Navan, in second place now and throwing down a challenge. Back in third we see Come Back Soon, or Come Home Soon, which is a big drifter in the market, and then in fourth place Raised the Line, which had made up ground after that very bad start. At the back we have Annie My Love, but into the second last bend, and it's Samtec Lady 6 lengths in front of number 3 South Hill Alley. Now just watch as number 1 Raised the Line comes through with the challenge around those bottom 2 bends. She bursts her way through off the last bend and pushes them all out of the way and says, get out of my way and let me into second place, as she does there. And we see Raised the Line moving into second, but this is one of the easiest winners you'll ever see. A stayer with a future. Samtec Lady crossing the line to win. This daughter of Skellig's Tiger and Aum Yam winning by a long margin. And back to second place, where Raised the Line comes through to finish second in front of the fast finishing Annie My Love, and there's a confirmation of the result. Samtec Lady, the 5-4 favourite. If they could all win like that, well, bookies would be, well, a very poor race. In second place, Raised the Line at 5-2, the time 43-41.
5-1-6.
Thank you, Michael. I've got the Minister for Agriculture and Food with me now, Ivan Yates, and Michael Fortune is a fellow county man of yours.
That's right. Michael's from Enniscorthy, just Glenbrine outside of Enniscorthy town, and there was 3 particular competitors in the final from County Clare. Virtually everyone I've met here is from County Clare, and I'm delighted that Wexford has been victorious, and there's no greater enthusiast for the game than Michael, and I'm absolutely thrilled for him and all the connections.
You have a sporting background yourself. I know you're deeply into sport.
Yes, absolutely. In a former existence, I've had some connection with the betting world. My wife has some betting offices, and I'm a racing fanatic. I love racing, both horse racing and dog racing, and in my misspent youth I go to Galway, Ballybrit, and then at night I go to the dogs, and I go to Tralee and onto the dogs. I'm really keen on it, and I think it's great entertainment. And when you see here the facilities that are being put in place, 2.5 million being spent here, it means that people can come for a night's out entertainment. They mightn't be addicted to betting, but they can have a meal, have superb facilities, the best creature comforts, and that's the way we want to go, to develop it like they have done in the UK, a superb night's entertainment. So we're trying desperately to get more people to come racing, and particularly more young people to come racing.
How do you do that?
Well, I think you've got to realise it's a leisure business the same as any other. You've got to have a reasonably priced product, you've got to have all the facilities, you've got to make sure they don't get wet, you've got to make sure they don't get ripped off, and I think we are looking at supporting Bord na Gan and what they're doing, bringing forward new legislation to look at the whole structures in the industry, and of course we're giving about £3 million a year, which is a substantial input from the taxpayer.
I suppose the difficulty in trying to attract people in is to remind them that it's a 12 months of the year business, and you know, in those bleary, dark, dreary evenings in January, how do you get them out in big numbers?
Well, unfortunately with provincial tracks you're down to the owners and the trainers and the hardcore, and I think we've got to sell it as a tourism product in the summer and try and get a regular market going, and I think the weakness of the betting market is something we've got to address, and therefore the tote with the new range of products, get more women coming racing, are critical to it.
You have a reputation as a dynamic type of personality. How would you like to see dynamism brought into this industry?
Well, I think marketing is the key, aggressive marketing, to say, look, instead of going bowling, instead of going to the cinema, why not have a superb night out? I notice when I go racing in the UK, people have no interest in racing. It's just like going to Wimbledon and going like to another sports event. That's what we've got to do, to see it as just another recreational leisure industry, not for people who are really into betting. And I think that's the key to the future. And I think we've got to have a sport with integrity, which I think it has, and the highest possible standards. And of course behind all this we've huge exports of dogs. It's a breeding nation of dogs we are, so that's a huge resource behind the industry.
Okay, take the rest of the weekend off.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
yourself. That's the Minister for Agriculture and Food, Ivan Yates, talking to us there. I'm not quite sure if ministers ever managed to get nights off or weekends off, but I'm sure he's enjoying himself here famously at Shelbourne Park. Right, time for the next race, next live race, the Sporting Press Open, over 5 yards, and Michael Fortune, true to the ethos that says, well, we got to get to the day job and keep an eye on that day job. He's back in the commentary box along with Des Scahill.
Well, Ger, how would I afford to own a dog like Cool Survivor if it wasn't in the day job? So you have to look after number one. We're into the Open 5-5, a great race. Number 1 and 2 are the big fancies here. A great friend of mine is involved in 4, but Desi, take him away.
Joint favourites just before dawn, and spin it out in 2. 3 is Reggie's Fancy, 4 Corrie May, 5 Likely Wish, and 6 Tubrid King. And the dust has just settled here after the Oaks, and now it's back to the Sporting Press Open 5-5, and away they go, and it's on the inside just before dawn, who's going to just lead, but being tightly pressed on the outside by Corrie May, and also Likely Wish has now moved into second. Just before dawn leads from in second place Likely Wish, then making some ground just behind them on the outside Tubrid King, but racing now towards the home turn, and just before dawn hanging on to a length or so lead, being pressed all the time by Likely Wish. Then Likely Wish now has moved right up in the near side to sprint there going to the finish. That's a good performance. Likely Wish has come through to win it very convincingly in the end, after just before dawn had led all the way to the final turn.
Yes, well, at the start of the Oaks, one of the major fancies to win it was Likely Wish, owned by Roger Sweeney, her son Barry from Castle Lyons in Cork. And while she wasn't in the best of her form, I don't think she had come to herself, but well, she has really come here tonight, and had she been in that form earlier in the Oaks, well, we mightn't be celebrating. Out in front, it's just before dawn. In second place, Likely Wish. She was one of the best puppies of last year, a greyhound I really admired, this one. In second place now, behind just before dawn, as they make it into the third bend. Back in third place, Tubrid King. Corrie May had lost ground on the second bend, lost her chance there, but off this last bend, it changed in a flash. Number 1 just before dawn is a length in front. Now just watch, within 5 strides, suddenly it's a length to Likely Wish. This is the form we saw her in last year, and this is the form she's going to be in, I'd say, for the rest of the year. She's a Derby contender, this one, if she comes back. That's Likely Wish, the winner there, from just before dawn in second.
And a cracking time of 29.12. which was a marvellous run there from Likely Wish, settled it just off the last turn, and number 5, Likely Wish, the winner at 6-1. Second was Just Before Dawn, the 9-4 joint favourite, put up a good performance, but the other joint favourites pitted out, never got involved, and a very good time, 29-12.
Still some more racing to show you before we go off the air at 10 o'clock. Before we do that, can I remind you about television sport tomorrow on both Network 2 and on RTE 1. On Network 2 we start at 11:45 with the Rugby World Cup. That's the next of the quarter-finals there. After that at 4:15 it's the French Open Tennis Men's Final, Mustard against Chang I think it is, and then at 6 o'clock it's the Sunday game. We're in Carrick-on-Shannon for Leitrim's first defence against Galway in the Connacht Football Championship. Should be a very good match. That's live tomorrow. And after that, we're still with the sport. It's the Canadian Grand Prix from Montreal at 8:05. That's all on Network 2. Meanwhile, if you want to go across here to Lansdowne Road to get the pictures from there for the Ireland v Austria game, that key game now in Group 6, that's live at 3:45 tomorrow afternoon. So lots and lots of sport, depending on your interest, all day long tomorrow. Right, we mentioned we've got some minutes to show you some more racing. I teed up the 4th race a little bit earlier. We didn't actually show it to you at that stage. This is the 4th race.
There moves away for the Sporting Press 575, 1 National News 6-1, 2 Six Bells 3-1 joint favourite. Number 3 is Jamie Sweetnote 5-1, 4 Deb's Princess the 3-1 joint favourite, 5 Pearly Spencer 7-1, and 6 Rump and Stop at 6-1. And away they go in a very level break with Pearly Spencer, and now moving up on the outside, Rump and Stomp, and Six Bells showing the speed on the inside to lead comfortably now around the turn. And it's Six Bells going on a couple of lengths in front of Rump and Stomp, who's second. There's a good break back then to National News, and they're being followed by Jamie Sweetnote. But it's Six Bells with a commanding advantage now into the second last turn. A good 5-6 in front, and Rump and Stomp staying on as National News. But off the home turn and racing up towards the finish, Six Bells way out in front. It's going to be a good battle for second. National News, and finishing on the inside, Jamie Sweetnote. That's close for second and third, but no doubt about the very easy winner, number 2, Six Bells.
Now we see the break, and away well from 5 is Pearly Spencer, but she's quickly overtaken by number 6 Romp and Stomp, and now number 2 Six Bells showing very good acceleration into the corner. This son of Art Ferkmick can fly image owned by Paul McNally and Michael Power, trained by Ann Power, and goes about 3 lengths clear there around the opening corner from Romp and Stomp in second. National News runs very wide off the second bend, first time around the track. In 4th place now we see Jamie Sweetnote, but out in front Six Bells gone 4 clear and stretching, and the race already sewn up. A good gamble on this one, Six Bells, and the Kilmacthomas trained dog gone on by 4 or 5, 6 lengths now at the third bend. In second place Romp and Stomp. National News running on now, his first race of the year, going into second place, and just behind that you see Jamie Sweetnote making ground. But up the straight, there's no doubt whatever about this. An impressive performance from Six Bells coming towards the line. Six Bells winning it convincingly there. Six Bells the winner, and in second place very close, but National News just getting up for second place ahead of Jamie Sweetnote. And there's the result with Six Bells, a 7-4 favourite, a strong gamble in the race. Second National News at 4-1, the winning time 32:05.
Well, it's been a night of exciting greyhound racing here at Shelbourne Park. Our next visit here will be for the Champion Stakes, and that's next month, of course. Well, Floral Spark didn't exactly spark in the Oaks tonight, but Cool Survivor certainly did, and that the bitch of Michael Fortune. Michael?
Well, a last word from me, Ger. Back in 1978, my father had Tom Gertie in the final of the Oaks here. She didn't quite make it. I always wanted to win it afterwards. The first man to congratulate me was Jack Nolan, who was involved in Tom Gertie. But my aunt, my father's sister, is watching from the Moyne Nursing Home in Wexford, in Enniscorthy at the moment. I'd just like to say, I hope you enjoyed it. It's for the father. We enjoyed it, Ger.
And we enjoyed it as well, Michael, and Fonzie King as well joined us. Let's have another reprise of that, and from Shelbourne Park for now, good night.
Away they go, and Cool Survivor bombs away on the outside to lead from Pacific Wind, who's gone into second. Then Floral Spark with a bit of ground to make up on the inside third. But it's Cool Survivor now, who's leading him down the back in second. Pacific Wind moving into third is Live Commentary, the rank outsider. The second last bend, and it's Cool Survivor being pressed on the inside by Live Commentary, who's coming with a good run, and as they run the home turn, Cool Survivor, Live Commentary on the outside, putting it around Pacific Wind, but it's Cool Survivor gonna win it for Michael Fortune and Fonzie King. That one man is going to make a quick exit out of here. It's Cool Survivor's owner, who's punching the air here.